Meantime, the FBI is now assisting in the investigation of a brazen and far-reaching cyber attack on MGM resorts. Now, the incident began Sunday. Computer systems went offline at MGM properties on the Vegas Strip, including hotels like the Bellagio, Aria, and Mandalay Bay. The attack even took down the MGM website, including booking systems, along with casino slot machines and sports betting kiosks. Also, get this. Guests had trouble accessing their rooms with digital keys, and according to reports, some were even locked out because of the hack. Now, as of this moment, the MGM website is still offline with a "we are currently unavailable" message. In a statement yesterday, MGM said they did shut down their systems to protect data, but that the resorts remain operational. This is the second cybersecurity issue the company has faced in recent years. 2019, MGM confirmed that it was the victim of a data breach which affected about 10 million of you. Stock is down 4% in the last 2 days. So how big of a risk are cybersecurity incidents like this for you? What other kind of companies could be vulnerable? Let's bring in our panel. Howard Stutz is the Nevada independent reporter on gaming and tourism, and David Kennedy, a cybersecurity expert and the founder and CEO of TrustedSec. Kennedy has also testified before the Congress on national security issues. Howard, I'm going to start with you, though. So you're saying to me, because if I use a digital key like millions of people now do, and I want to go back up to my room, I couldn't get in?
That's apparently what happened in the last, since starting yesterday. And they said they went out there and now they've keyed all the rooms so that people are able to get in. This is just ongoing. It's been going on now that we're in the second day of it. It actually started, it looked like Sunday night. And then MGM announced Monday morning that, what you said, they were under some type of cyber attack. They alerted federal authorities, obviously the FBI, Nevada gaming regulators, and they've been managing their way through it. And I was over there yesterday. MGM was the first resort on the Strip, first company on the Strip to have paid parking. All the parking, there's no paid parking right now. You just drove right in. So it's very, it's affecting a lot of different areas for MGM. And it's not just Vegas. Remember, MGM has casinos, as you're showing, in Maryland, Ohio, and New York, Atlantic City. All those casinos are being affected by this this attack.
And from what I understand, Howard, if you won money, all the slot machines, everything now is digital. They put the stuff on a card. If you won money, woohoo, you want to go get cashed out. A lot of people couldn't or had to wait a long time.
It was bizarre. They had a lot of machines had taped over, out of order on the voucher where you would feed in your ticket in, ticket out, or your cash, but you couldn't cash out, and you're waiting for hand pays, and which were an attendant would come over and pay you, what you owed. There were some machines people just said forget it and left. They left like $1.95 on the machine. There was one guy I talked to at Excalibur. He had $1,500 on that machine. He'd been sitting there a half hour, and he said, "I'm not going anywhere." So yeah, this is the thing they've been dealing with here for a couple of days now.
I'll bet not. David, is this likely a ransomware attack? Basically, we're just going to keep holding you hostage, at least, or keep messing with you until you pay us money. Otherwise, what else they want?
Yeah, this has all the hallmarks of a ransomware event. The weekend is usually when ransomware folks kick it off because most of the IT folks, all the security folks are all, at home, and it causes pandemonium and mayhem. And so we usually see, Saturday, Sunday being kind of the kickoff time for these. And then from there, trying to do the extortion. And they're not just shutting down systems. They also steal data. So they'll steal, credit card numbers, social security numbers, driver's license information, personal information, any intellectual property. And then they hold that for ransom as well. So even if you're able to recover, you still need to pay the ransom if you don't want them to release the actual data. So ransomware groups are problematic for every organization out there right now, not just casinos. But, I think everybody expects casinos to be Ocean's 11, super secure, where they really consider themselves more hospitality. And while they might have good physical security, their cybersecurity is often lacking in a number of areas, and they're really vulnerable. And I'm surprised something like this hasn't happened in the extent it has with MGM to all of the other brands as well. Yeah. But it's definitely, they're on notice at the moment.
Oh, on a macro level, David, I tweeted out a story, X, or whatever you call it, last night from The Atlantic magazine, actually, which had a big piece on how hackers are now coming for your cars, primarily electric vehicles, because the systems, they can actually access your Spotify, maybe some of your accounts, or just parts of the car itself, and I kind of only half joked, I'm just going to buy a 1999 Toyota Land Cruiser, update the stereo, and let it ride. Is there any part now? It was just our computers. Now it's our hotels. Now it's going to be our cars. Is there any part of our life that is not immune to this type of stuff? I almost said something else.
We've seen technology really change every aspect of our life, right? I mean, our cars are obviously much more smarter. There was a hack that happened a number of years ago from security researchers that were able to take a car and drive it off the road and take complete control over it. These cars now have infotainment systems, they have interconnectivity with servers. Autopilot, for example, or full self-driving, it's constantly communicating and reporting data telemetry back up to Tesla and its server infrastructures. All the other cars are doing the same things. They have, automatic updates that get pushed down from the, cloud infrastructure that can impact the cars. It's integrated everywhere, and technology continues to get more and more complex, which is where the attackers are going. 10 years ago, we would laugh at ransomware because they were targeting really small people, individuals. Now they're going after some of the largest companies in the world with some of the highest levels of sophistication out there, incomparable to nation states like China, Russia, and North Korea. That's really damaging, and they have a lot of impact. I mean, we deal with hundreds of ransomware events a year, paying millions and millions of dollars. They're making tons of money. If this was a ransomware and MGM paid, I guarantee you might have been one of the largest payments probably in ransomware history, if that's the case.
And by the way, got to be another form of inflation, right? Because all this lost money, it's got to go somewhere. The casinos aren't going to eat it. The car companies aren't going to eat it. And nobody else is going to. The credit card companies aren't going to eat it. They're going to pass it on. David and Howard, good conversation, guys. Good luck out there out west. Thank you.
Thanks so much.